Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I want to show you a tool that was sent to me by a company called Tacklife. I just recently did a video of the cutting of some doors where I used a larger saw to cut it down, and they sent me an email saying they'd like to send me this one to see what I thought of it and to see how it worked. This one is a miniature saw. I believe that the blade itself is a 4-inch blade, so it'll give you about a 2-inch depth cut. So I think anyway, we'll open it up and we'll see together. It also has a laser beam, so you can actually follow a line when you're cutting it. All right, so let's open it up, let's take a look at it, and let's see what it looks like. First thing we're going to do, we're going to turn this around so you can see what it looks like in here. Okay, so right off the bat, I can see it has the guide that you can actually set the depth of the cut that you want to do. You put this on the saw and you can adjust how deep of a cut you want to make. Let's see what this is. Now let's open it up and let's see what everything looks like, and then we'll figure out where everything goes. As you know, it's a plug-in type saw. It's not a battery-powered saw. Well, I'll tell you, it is pretty compact. Well, it looks like it has one blade on it already. I'm assuming that this is the other blades that they've sent me. Yep, it is. All right, so okay, this is the other blade. It's for wood and for metal. As you can see, it's much finer teeth on here, so you can do a little bit cleaner job with it, especially if we're cutting the closet doors that we're going to do in a future video. We'll need to use a blade like that so that we get a nice fine cut without splintering the door. They did send 2 of those. They also sent me 2 other blades here. These are these blades are actually for cutting cement. I didn't know they were going to send that to me, but it's for cutting cement, which I'm going to give this a try too, because I do have a project coming up that I have to cut some cement, and I was actually looking into something like that, so we'll see how it is. And this is the blade that actually is on the saw right now itself. It's a 24-tooth blade, which is more or less like for wood, and it's a cross-cut type thing. You can use it, you know, not just cross-cut. You can use it any way you want to. All right, it looks like it does have the pretty good. You know what? Let me just take a look at it here together with you. And we're going to try it out. We're going to see how this saw works. All right, let's get these blades out of the way. Let's get a piece of lumber up here, and let's cut it up and let's see how it performs. All right, let's get this out of here for now. All right, now obviously it does come with the owner's manual, which I would recommend you read before you go ahead and use the saw itself. This looks like it's possibly for a dust collector. Somewhere on here it would go, on the side right here. So at least you can direct the dust where it's going to go. If you're cutting, you don't want the dust blowing back in your face. You can put it any direction you need to, and you can adjust it. All right, I'm going to take that off for now. Not sure where this is going to go. I'm going to have to look through my directions and see. Remove this cover when using. This is the cover that we need to take off right here. Okay. Oh, okay. That's our off and on switch right here. Turn it off and on. The laser anyway. See the laser beam? All right, so that's our laser beam right there. This obviously, when you're using any saw, you guys know about this. This is to pull it back so you can actually do a cut. If it's in your way, you can move it up out of the way. You can adjust the depth right here. You can go deeper or shallower depending on what you prefer. If you want a very shallow cut, you can make it a very shallow cut. Right? We're going to leave it all the way up right now because we're going to cut something a little thicker. And of course, you know you can adjust the angle. You can see that there's an adjustment on here. It says, okay, you can adjust it. It's a 45 degree, a 30 degree, and such as that. You just loosen it up with this here, and you can adjust it as needed. If you need to have an angle that you're cutting. But in this case here, we're going to keep it this way because we're going to cut something straight across. Remember what I was telling you about this piece right here? This will go in here if you needed to make a cut and you needed it to be a certain distance on the product. This has an Allen key right here that you will loosen up, and you can adjust this as needed. Whatever the depth is you want the blade to cut off, you can adjust it right up inside here. And then of course you would just tighten this down like that. And this is the guide that'll actually run it. I'll show you real quick. I'm sure you know this, but I'll tell you anyway, or I'll show you anyway. If you need to make a cut and you want to cut 2 inches in, you would adjust this to wherever your cut is going to be. Okay? All right. So we're going to take this off for now because we're just going to test this out on a piece of wood that I have over here. We'll put this in here for now. This is going to go someplace on here. I'm going to have to read the directions to see where this goes. We're going to open up our Allen key that came with it like this. And there's a little space right down here that you can put your Allen key in so you know where it is when you need to use it. Stays right on there. Okay? Okay, let's test it out and let's see how it works. Let's use this. We got it plugged in now. We put our handle on here like this. As you can see, this goes on. Now, if you choose to take this off, you can take it off just like this. If you want to put it on the other side, the other direction over here, if you're a left hand, you can do it that way as well. Or you can just leave it on here like this. We're going to leave this off because we're not going to use this right now, but you just take it off just by turning the handle like that, and you can take it right off. So we're going to put this down on the side for now. Now this we're just using to hold our piece of wood up on it here, and let's see how it cuts. We're going to take the saw. Now obviously to turn the saw on, you will have to press this safety button right here because the trigger will not pull unless you have that button depressed first. All right, now we have the height of the blade is fairly thick, so we're going to cut through quite easily. And like I said, you can adjust it, the angle of the blade. If you want to cut it at a 45, a 30, 15, whatever you want to cut it at, you can adjust it. And of course, we have our laser beam. So here's our laser beam. Let's cut a small section off and let's see how it works. Well, let's try it one more time. So as you can see, it does cut fairly smoothly. You will have to adjust the blade wherever you want the sawdust to be heading. I mean, you will have to adjust this so you have your sawdust going at whatever direction you choose to have it going. You want to go into the front, you can have it go into the front. You want it to the back, you can turn it to the back, but that's personal preference. All right, we're going to turn the laser beam off. And as you can see, when the laser beam is on, let me move this out of the way here. As you can see, when the laser beam is on, it actually runs right past this corner right here, so you know that's where you're going to cut. Let me bring it in. I'm going to show you real close. See? There's our laser beam, and it's shining right here. And of course, you can see the laser beam right out in front of it, just like that. And that way you can follow a nice straight line wherever you're cutting. As you can see, this saw works pretty well. Now this is only a small circular saw, so if you have something that's 4 inches thick and you need to cut it, this is going to be a little bit too small for the project. But if you have anything that's like plywood or whatever, it's going to cut really well through that. It's very easy to hold. It's actually very well balanced as well. On the side right here, you've got a button right here. Now before I do this, I just want to unplug it so we don't have any accidents. Oh, I will point this out to you too. The cable itself for plugging in is actually really long. This cable here has got to be probably 6 feet long, if not more. I'm very surprised because most circular saws don't have a cable that long. All right, so now that we have it unplugged from the wall, you press this button in right here, press it and hold it, and you can take the blade and rotate the blade, and you'll feel it lock. That's if you had to remove the blade from the saw itself with your Allen key. You'd lock the blade, and you could take it through here, and you could rotate it off, and then put your new blade on, and the blade is locked. It will not rotate while you're working. All right, but that's it. That's the saw itself. I look forward to doing my next set of doors that I have to cut them down to see how this saw works. And I look forward to using this on concrete to see how it works there as well. All right, I'll put a link down below. You can take a look at it, see what you think, if it suits your needs, you know, whatever works for you. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.